Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I, it's here. After a half a year of waiting, people, or actually, as it said in the movie, after 6 months of waiting, or however long it's been since the death of Superman has come out, guys, the reign of the Superman is here, and I have to tell you guys, even though that this newest direct-to-video DC animated movie is set within the New 52 universe, I have to tell you guys, this movie is by far, in my opinion, 1,000,000 times better than even the death of Superman, because there are so many twists and unexpected scenarios. This movie is so well done, everyone, that it will truly leave you shocked. So let's get into the nitty gritty of it all. So we open, and it's been 6 months since Superman's fatal battle with Doomsday, and basically all the journalists of the world, in particular this journalist named Godfrey, basically scolds everyone and saying that it's time for everybody to stop relying on the Justice League and the Titans. Basically, it's time for the human race to take their protection into their own hands. And basically, guys, the world is still devastated by the loss of the Man of Steel. So much so that even Superman's faithful damsel in distress, if that's what you want to call her, Miss Lois Lane, is so distraught and devastated by Clark's demise that she can't even return to work. Then all of a sudden, one day, out of nowhere, this copy Superman, who we'll call the Eradicator for the purposes of this video, basically shows up out of nowhere and claims that he's the new Superman. But, however, LexCorp also creates an exact clone of Superman. Obviously, for those of us that know Young Justice, this is Superboy, and basically a grateful citizen that the real Superman ultimately turns it into literally the Man of Steel version of Superman, or also known as Steel, and they're the final Superman, simply called Cyborg's Superman, that has the biggest twist of them all. And throughout the entirety of the movie, guys, that they all sort of clamor for the right to be called the new or the reincarnation of Superman, especially Superboy and Cyborg Superman. Now, I'll be honest, guys, the Superboy in the reign of the Superman is not the same Superboy that people know from Young Justice. In this version, I would describe Superboy almost as like almost like this movie's Beast Boy. And that's another thing. There are references to the Teen Titans in the movie, even though that they don't show up at all. But basically, guys, Cyborg Superman is the one that really takes the most interest in Lois Lane, and is the only one that goes to her balcony, just like Clark did so many times, and says that even though his memory is foggy, he is the real Superman. However, um, however, Lois still isn't convinced, and Lex's whole goal in this movie is to prove that Superboy it is it is not just a clone of Superman. He literally is Superman reincarnated. But 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 after each individual that sort of has taken up the mantle of Superman basically goes out of control. So some members of the Justice League supposedly end up perishing due to all the confusion and the division between all the new Supermen. But we find out later um, that actually the real villain of this movie it's actually two villains, and one of them is not Lex Luthor. Actually, guys, Lex Luthor and Lois Lane both both are play a very critical role in this movie. But actually, guys, the 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 two real villains of this movie are Hank Crenshaw, which is the astronaut that was killed when Doomsday's meteor landed on Earth, and Darkseid from Apocalypse, just the original Justice League, the animated series, and of course the movie that kickstarted the New 52 universe, Justice League War. And the reason Hank, the astronaut, um, uh, agreed to become Cyborg Superman is to get back at Clark Kent, for basically being too preoccupied with Doomsday to be able to save Hank's wife Terry, and to, and Darkseid literally possesses Hank's mind, and and in a way forces him to gain the townspeople's trust, just so the portal can be opened for Darkseid to get to Earth. And ultimately, it's Lois, Superboy, Steel, and even Legs to an extent that actually uncovered the truth, in that the Eradicator, but believed to be the rogue Superman throughout the majority of the movie, is actually just a hologram designed to protect the real Superman while he is being rejuvenated. And guys, the moment where it's revealed that Darkseid has been pulling the strings throughout the entirety of the movie is truly something special. But Hank is so overcome with grief and his malice for what Superman did to Terry, that even once he's free from Darkseid's control, Superman still unfortunately has to destroy him in order to deliver the final blow. So guys, truly, this was an outstanding movie, and there's a really exciting twist at the end. Lex Luthor is now a member of the Justice League.